Formula One is regarded as the pinnacle of open-wheel racing and motorsport in general, but just like every other sport, there are some weird moments that only happen once in a while. And for some of them, you have to see it to believe it. That's why in this video, we'll bring you the 10 weirdest things that happened in F1. Let's get to it. 10. A large fan helps an F1 car win a race. The 1978 Brabham racing vehicle, the BT46, was modified to become the BT46B. There has only ever been one BT46B race. To gain an advantage over the competition, Brabham created a car with a large fan attached to the back of it. It generated a ton of grip and downforce, which pulled the object to the ground. No one was surprised when Niki Lauda won the Swedish Grand Prix that year. Even though the FIA stated Brabham might race the idea for the remainder of the year, they chose not to. Number 9. The youngest Formula One driver drove at the age of 17. At the 2015 Australian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen made Formula One history by becoming the sport's youngest driver at 17 years, 166 days. He also holds a lot of firsts records in F1. At the 2015 Australian Grand Prix for Scuderia Toro Rossi, he made history by being the sport's youngest driver. He's also the youngest driver in Formula One Grand Prix history to score points, and also the youngest to win multiple Grand Prix. Max made us witness something we've never seen before. Number 8. Hamilton produced more g-force than a space shuttle. You probably won't ever believe this, but it did happen. A space shuttle couldn't deliver the g-force that an F1 vehicle could. F1 vehicles produce a lot of downforce, and the current model is the fastest we've ever seen. They can produce g-force similar to that felt by fighter pilots in the armed forces during combat. For reference, the greatest g-forces that a NASA space shuttle can generate is around 3.5 G. In 2017, Hamilton's pole lap was approximately 6 G. This year, the cars will probably create similar, if not slightly higher g-forces. They also claim that these men are not athletes, huh? 7. Vettel holds the record for the quickest fine in F1. When he was fined for speeding in the pit lane, four-time world champion Sebastian Vettel held the record, the fastest fine in Formula One history. Sebastian Vettel, the current Aston Martin driver, made his F1 debut as a BMW test driver, and during the next 4 years, he rose to the sport's top. Even before making his Formula One debut, the German racer was extremely popular, but he didn't enjoy his initial few seconds at the racing world's top. As a result, Vettel now owns a possibly unbreakable record. In the first 9 seconds of his escape from the garage at the Turkish Grand Prix, Vettel was caught speeding in the pit lane. The stewards penalized him $1,000 for it. Therefore, we presumably know where Vettel's first paycheck would have gone. Vettel likely dealt with his initial penalty, unlike other athletes who buy homes or make investments after their first payment. 6. Only 6 cars participated in a Grand Prix. In 2005, a very strange incident happened, leaving the United States Grand Prix to be remembered for the wrong reason. Only 6 cars participated in the race. Back then, there wasn't a strict rule for teams to only use one tire brand, so options were open to Michelin or Bridgestone. Initially, drivers had issues adapting with Bridgestone, but things changed in the 9th race of the season as problems emerged with Michelin. The left rear tires appear to always tear when drivers overworked them, and it happened with all Michelin tires during the Friday practice, and it resulted in drivers pulling out of the race at the last minute, leaving 6 Bridgestone tire cars to finish the race. Schumacher won the race easily, finishing ahead of Barrichello, while Montero made some racing history by being the first Portuguese driver to place on the podium. Although it was a very quiet speedway when the drivers made their way to the podium, Karthikeyan, Albers and Patrick Friesacker finished in the points as the entire field crossed the finish line. Number 5. One driver has only attained 24th position in a race. Undesirable records in F1 are equally hilarious and somehow great as the amazing records. Despite having 24 or more vehicles on the starting line for multiple seasons, no driver has finished in 24th place, making it the lowest position for a driver in the sport. In 2011, there were 24 cars on the starting grid, and Arain Karthikeyan was the driver for HRT. In Valencia, all 24 starters managed to finish the race. No cars were forced to quit the Grand Prix. Karthikeyan thereby earned the unwelcome distinction of finishing last in a Grand Prix. That record could remain for some time as there are now just 20 F1 vehicles. Do you know what's funnier and even weirder? This same driver previously had the unlucky record of 23rd place before beating his record. And there you have it, a record-breaking loser. Number 4. In an F1 crash, pricey diamonds were shattered. You wonder how the world's strongest material can be broken in an F1 vehicle collision? Let's see. The Ocean's 12 movies and the Jaguar Racing Team collaborated to promote the movie at the 2004 Monaco Grand Prix. Christian Klein and Mark Webber's vehicles featured unique liveries, but that wasn't all they had. Each of the automobiles has a diamond nosepiece worth $300,000. The idea was a weird one, and it severely backfired. Klein crashed out of the race on lap 1, and the diamond was never found again after being shattered in the collision. Someone lucky must have picked them up. 3. Only once have 3 drivers shared the pole position. This is an example of an incident that, if it wasn't recorded, most people wouldn't believe, including myself. The 1997 season's last race was contested in Jerez when Williams driver Jacques Villeneuve and Ferrari superstar Michael Schumacher competed for the championship. But something else happened during qualifying. Villeneuve, Schumacher, and Villeneuve's teammate Heinz-Harald Frentzen posted the same qualifying time on Saturday, 1 minute 21.072 seconds. Even if it has only ever happened once, it would still be intriguing. 2. A driver was disqualified from a race for being too slow. I'm sure that you'll laugh out loud at this one, but in reality, how does one get disqualified because of being too slow? The history of Formula One is full of fast legends, from Juan Manuel Fangio to Stirling Moss, Niki Lauda to Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher to Sir Lewis Hamilton. However, what about the other extreme? We're not referring to individuals like Romain Grosjean or Nico Hülkenberg, who are undeniable talents who must overcome challenges. Victor Alpes, a British-Canadian racer, is the specific subject of our discussion. He is renowned for being the first Formula One driver to be penalised for driving too slowly. On the 20th of September 1969, at Ontario's Motorsport International Raceway, Victor Alpes was about to change the course of Formula One history, but perhaps not in the way he had anticipated. Officials from the race got involved. They decided that the notorious Pease was endangering everyone else by driving at excessively low speeds. Alpes was disqualified, the black flag was raised, and his career in Formula One was officially over. He packed up his little shiny box and left. Victor Alpes actually found success elsewhere in domestic Canadian motorsport competitions after retiring from Formula One. He was later inducted into the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame circa 1998. Number 1. Hans Heyer unlawfully began a Formula One race. Despite being no slouch, Hans Heyer's debut in Formula One was pretty disappointing. He entered the 1977 Hockenheim Grand Prix while driving for the German team ATS. However, he was only as fast as open-wheelers while driving touring automobiles. Heyer didn't qualify for the race, and as a result, he was disqualified. But it didn't deter him. He decided to enter the race despite retiring after 9 laps, and as a result, he was disqualified. He has the sole DNS, DNF, and DSQ of any guy in F1. Possibly an unwelcome accomplishment, but significant. Which of these incidents do you think was the craziest thing to occur in Formula One? Comment below.